Okay. We go back to the initial presentation of the day by John Fotis that started discussing on information. And one of the buzzwords that are used in the last 2-3 years in the travel industry and the technology world is big data. Even though mainstream usage of big data on applications in travel has not gone so far, it is unquestionable that it has and it will affect our businesses in areas such as customer service, sales, user experience on websites, and so on. In order to grasp the concept of big data, let me tell you about some numbers. We, as Amadeus, manage daily more than 500 million transactions on our database center in Erding, Germany. 426 items were processed by Amazon per second in the last Cyber Monday in 2013. 10 hours of video are uploaded on YouTube every minute, and 3.4 million emails are being sent every second around the world. But it's not only about the numbers, which Facebook is utilizing its new data center since April 2014. 300 petabytes is the size of the capacity, which equals to 3,990 years of HD TV video. But it's also about the growth. Each 24 months, the global data volume doubles. And in 6 years' time, it's expected that this rate will catch up with Moore's law that says that data processing doubles every 18 months. In 2020, the global data volume will reach the size of 100 zettabytes. It's a number with so many zeros that cannot fit the screen. In fact, we could say that no one really knows how much information is out there or how quickly it's actually being produced. The reason for that are the countless data sources. Many of them have been presented already today. Web tracking data and automated data, such as the PNRs, are the biggest contributors. But also we have the social data, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, geolocation data from our GPSs on the phones, on the cars, behavioral data, offline and online, financial data, and so forth. But big data does not come from an innovation or a new technology. It's just a summation of data that we produce on a daily basis and gives us information on our habits, preferences, attitudes, interests, and so on. This is the central point of big data. In a study, it was mentioned that we are what we eat, and this is true, but we are also what we see, where we go to. We are the summation of the small and not so small choices that we make every day. And these actions are now aggregated and collected. We are not alone in producing data. And I'm not talking about any extraterrestrial activities, but it's not only humans, but also the devices that we use, which produce data for our behalf or on their own. We have heard today already about the Internet of Things. What we mean is that these devices, which are virtually connected to each other and act autonomously, create data, and this is soon to become the biggest part of the data that we produce on a daily basis. One example is Nest, recently bought out by Google, a digital thermostat that collects information about our preferences and the behavior of our houses and adapts the energy consumption. 20 typical households, and this is for the US, generate today the equal amount of data traffic like the entire internet in 2008. Another example, a wristband called App that collects information on our sleeping habits, on the exercises that we do, the quality of our sleep, and tries to improve our well-being. So we are moving to the quantified self through self-tracking. And this brings us again to an issue of privacy. Who owns the data? Are we those, or the companies that we allow them to collect it for us? Another example, more simple, the Colibri, a toothbrush that collects information on our daily habit, puts it on an application, and you can watch your behavior so you can improve and protect yourself. John Fotis mentioned in this morning that probably big data is about big business. Yes, it has been the foundation of companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, and so on. Companies like Oracle, SAP, and Microsoft are those providing the technologies in order to use big data. But the thing that we want most from big data is to understand the consumer, understand our client. So what does it mean for our companies? Therefore, we have to talk about the 3 V's. We talk about volume, we talk about variety, and we talk about velocity. We show the volume, the big size, terabytes, petabytes, and so on. Those are volumes that cannot be handled by traditional databases. We speak about variety. The data comes in various sources. It's not only structured, it's also unstructured, text, numbers, multimedia, video, images, audio, and so on. And also the velocity, the growth that it has every day. So challenge number 1, how can we transform inadequate data into sufficiently structured data? The problem is that it is still unstructured in its majority. 85% of that is unstructured. But the most important point here is that the unstructured are more valuable to us. We were speaking before about user-generated content. This is unstructured, but it's very important to a hotel or anybody else who wants to understand how others perceive it. Data variety is a critical factor. We talked about it before. Image, video, analysis of audio data, linguistics, semantics. Challenge number 2. There is the risk of high costs and analysis of meaningless information. Because the investments are huge and the data is so big, we have to pinpoint exactly what we want to get out of it. We have to set strategies and goals. Therefore, we need relevance. What added value will this information bring to us? Which information do I want to receive? And in what sense? Which information needs to be available at which point in time? Those are 3 questions that are very important to ask ourselves. And challenge number 3, data protection. We have to obtain consent. We have to ask before we get the information. We have to appropriate, which means to use only the data that is received with consent in order to provide relevant information, and also economy of data, to use the minimum amount of data in order to personalize the experience. To sum it up, we have the traditional systems and the big data systems, structured versus unstructured, manageable data versus high amounts, central management versus various sources, periodical retrievals, real-time information, standardized processes versus high flexibility and adaptability. So, what do we do as Amadeus with big data, and how does this lead to travel intelligence? Traditionally, in the travel industry and the distribution meant to offer the same to everyone. This can no longer be true. Intelligent distribution means to personalize, contextualize, and localize. As the measure of success is to present the most relevant data to the benefit of our clients, we need relevancy. Therefore, we need to understand in which context our user is, to learn about his habits, and to learn where he is. Therefore, an evolution is necessary. From data, we get information, we reach our knowledge, and finally, we have to understand what the client, what the end consumer wants. Our goal as Amadeus is to provide relevant information for our clients. Big data is only meaningful if it can be understood by us and can be used effectively. So, the Amadeus Travel Intelligence offer combines off-the-shelf dashboards, tailor-made applications, consulting, web services, and so forth, but very importantly, 25 years of experience in the travel industry, and of course, our human capital, 40 data scientists. Our offers are for everyone in the travel industry. We have agency insight, both for offline and online agencies, who can understand the search and booking behavior of their clients, but also to compare with their own competition and the market. DMO insight for destination management organizations to investigate into new markets, to understand their market share, and so on. Airport insight to explore new routes, to learn about their incoming travelers. Corporate insight for corporate travel managers to see the preferences of their own travelers. Hotel insight and airline insight. Just to show you an example of our offering, let me present you what we do with destination management organizations. Our value proposition consists of travel intelligence, advertising, and inspiration solutions. At the first level, there is consulting. We sit together with a DMO to talk about long-term strategies, like, for example, where to open a new office, but also short-term campaigns in order to attract visitors in a short time frame. This is combined with travel information from Amadeus, but also from internal data. And this is what we call DMO 360. Not only can we give you your data, give you our data, but also combine your own sources. Then we have advertising. Through media solutions, you can attract visitors and inform the over 90,000 travel agencies offline and online worldwide, and also on our trip management tools like Check My Trip. Then through travel audience, you can target the immediate consumer on related travel media sites. And for inspiration purposes, we are able to help you with mobile solutions such as visiteurope.com, which was created for the European Travel Commission. Tourism organizations ask very good questions. Some of those may be even yours. How can I optimize my marketing budget? Why for every 100 people searching for my destination, only a small percentage books, while for others there are more? How many Russians will fly to Athens for the Christmas holidays? How many will choose Rome? We help tourism organizations monitor their performance, create forecasts, track competitors. And we do this by combining booking data from all GDSs. We process 9 million air bookings daily, and our data is only 3 days old, so very fresh. Search data, we have more than 30 million flight searches daily, and then on top, schedule data, traffic data, pricing, and so forth. And of course, our consulting offer. Through ready-made dashboards, we help you identify, analyze, and forecast. You can see figures and trends for departures, destinations, and we see more about this in the next slides. You can also study your competition. How are you performing against other cities? You can see the patterns of travel purchase. When do people purchase their travel? How long time before? And for how many days or weeks are they going there? And also, in order to increase your performance, understand search and booking behavior. We could prepare a BCG Matrix for your destination. We put down the experience that we have and the information and create this matrix that shows the stars, the cities which are very high on growth, and you could, of course, need to attract. On the bottom right, the cows, where you are doing very well, while they are not so important, they are not growing. The question marks, where they are on high growth, but you have to investigate if they are meaningful for you, and the dogs, which are not so interesting to invest into. Then you have to know your competitors, and this is where we help you as well. Let's take the example of Vienna versus Berlin. Both cities are very similar. Similar cuisine, similar culture, and so forth. What if you are the destination management organization for Vienna and you want to attract people for city breaks? You can search for departures on specific days and look into the map of Europe and investigate where the major sources are. Here, in this case, it is Paris. So let's focus on Paris. Paris is one of the top origins. And Vienna and Berlin are very competing to each other. Their market shares are very similar. You can see, though, the market share in business and leisure, the market share in terms of numbers of passengers, the number of trip days. If we sum it up, we have for Vienna 4,636 searches and 36 bookings, 8,342 bookings for Berlin. Vienna has less capacity than Berlin, approximately 15,000. If we sum it up, we can see that Berlin is doing better overall, it seems. But if we look more carefully, the ratio of searches, of bookings over searches, is 78 for Vienna, and Berlin is 51. So we understand that Vienna is converting better. And this is a critical point, because searches are costly for all DMOs and not only. Now, if you are the DMO of Paris, you want to see how you did the last years. It seems that for 2014, in the Christmas period, which is at the end of the weeks, you are doing better than last year. In fact, the bookings from Frankfurt to Paris, which was the slide previously, are up by 7.3%. Is this a good measure? It depends. At the same time, Vienna is up by 22.7%. So the comparison does not make it so positive for Paris. In the end, it's the understanding of the people that makes the difference in the usage, in the experience with big data. From Amadeus' side, we can provide you with the infrastructure, the tools, the human capital to comprehend and use the big data in your daily business as DMOs, as hoteliers, as travel agencies. So let's make tourism objectives happen. Thank you very much.